Okay, boys and girls, we're going to continue on with our lesson 4.3e, adding and subtracting fractions with common or like denominators. So let's see what we've got. All right, we've got 1/5 plus 2/5. First thing you're going to do is line them up. So 1/5 plus 2/5. Pay attention to your sign. Okay, so our denominator is going to stay as 5. So we're going to add the numerator 1 plus the numerator 2, which gives us 3. So 1/5 plus 2/5 equals 3/5. And it is in its simplest form. And we know that because the multiples of 3 are 1 and 3, and the multiples of 5 are 1 and 5. And the only one that they share is 1. So let's go on. All right, this one they gave you fraction bars to look at. And I have told my children repeatedly, do not draw your own fraction bars. Do not draw your own number lines to try to make things equivalent. If they give them to you, that's one thing. But for your own, you can make something equal even if it's not equal when you try to draw it yourself. So we've got 1/5 plus 2/5. And we know that the answer 1 plus 2 is going to be 3/5. Let's look at the next one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this looks like it's in sevenths. So 1/7 plus 2/7 should equal 3/7. You're exactly right. 1 plus 2 is 3. Let's look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4/5 plus 1, 2, 2/5. Remember, our denominator stays the same. 1/5 plus 2/5 is 6/5. Now, that's all of these and one of these. But remember, we're supposed to reduce it down. So how many times will 5 go into 6? One time with one remainder. So you would have 1 and 1/5. Okay, let's look at the bottom one. 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 2/4. But we know that 2/4 can be reduced down to a simpler form. The multiples of 2 are 1 and 2. The multiples of 4 are 2 and 4. So what we do to the numerator, we do to the denominator. So we're going to divide these both by 2. 2 in the numerator, 2 in the denominator. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And that is in its simplest form. Okay, let's look at this one. First thing I want to do is line them up correctly. So 3/8 plus 5/8. I know my denominator is 8, so 3 plus 5 equals 8. And 8/8 in simplest form has to be 1. Let's check ourselves and see if we're right. 8/8 and 1. Let's look at the next one. Okay, we've got 7/12 and 1/12. So 7/12 plus 1/12. We're adding. Our denominator is 12. Our numerator is 8. I know that's not in simplest form because they're an even number. So I know they can at least be divided by 2. So the multiples of 8 are 2 and 4. The multiples of 12 are 2, 3, 4, and 6. The one that they share, the highest one they share is 4. So what I do to the numerator, I do to the denominator. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 2/3 should be in simplest form. Let's see what they did. 8/12, which is what we've got, and then they multiplied it to 3/4. Ooh, Miss Fuller made a mistake. What did she do wrong? No, I don't think I made a mistake. They made a mistake because this cannot be reduced down to 3/4. So it should have been 2/3. Yeah, they made a mistake. Okay. See, even people who create these sometimes make mistakes. Okay, but I went back and checked myself when the answer didn't come out the same to make sure that I was right. All right, let's look at the last one. We've got 5/9 and 7/9. So 5/9 plus 7/9. We are adding. My denominator is 9. 5 plus 7 equals 12. So we know that's 12/9. We should know that's an improper fraction. Okay? So because it's an improper fraction, we're going to divide 9 into 12. Remember, I cannot divide into 1. I put a 0 up there to hold my place. So 9 divided into 12, one time, subtract, and you should have 3/9. So this answer was 12/9. This answer became 1 3/9. But when I look at 3/9, I know it's not in simplest form because 3 is a multiple of 9. So I've got 3 and 9. That means I'm going to divide 3/9 by 3. So 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. I don't do anything to that whole number 1. So it should be 1 1/3. And let's see if we're right. 12/9. 1 3/9. 1 1/3. All right. Let's continue on. All right. Now we're doing some subtraction, and this is a little bit different. Okay. We have 6/7 here. When we are subtracting like with fraction bars, you're going to see that they're x'd out. Minus 4/7. So I know my denominator is 7. 6 minus 4 equals 2. Well, on your picture, it might look something like this. They might have an X on it. Sure, I don't go over. They might have something like this, where it starts like this and then they have an X on it, so that you know how many they're taking away. Well, I know 6 minus 4 is 2, so my answer is 2/7 that's left over. Okay, not out of the whole thing, because remember we didn't use the whole thing. We just used 6 pieces out of 7. So the answer is 2/7. I know 2/7 is in simplest form because 2 is not a multiple of 7. Let's go on. All right, let's see what we've got here. 7/8 minus 3/8. So we're going to start and line them up. 7/8 minus, whoops, 3/8. My denominator is 8. 7 minus 3, giving you the answer. 7 minus 3 is 4, which is 4/8. I know 4/8 is the same as, when the numerator is half of the denominator, 4/8 is the same as 1/2. So this answer right here should be 4/8, and that should be 1/2, because remember we're taking it down to simplest form. Let's look at the next one. Okay, 5/9 minus 2/9. So 5/9 minus 2/9. We're subtracting, so 9 is my denominator. 5 minus 2 is 3. So the answer is 3/9. Again, I have to look at it and decide, is that in simplest form? Well, I already know that 3 is a multiple of 9. So I would say 3/9 divided by 3/3 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 9 3 times. So in simplest form, it should be 1/3. So we should have 3/9 and we should have 1/3. Okay, last one on this page. 9/12 or 9/32 minus 5/32. 9/32 minus 5/32. So we are subtracting. My denominator is 32. 9 minus 5 equals 4. 4/32. Okay, I know that 4 and 2 are even numbers. So I can probably get this to reduce down to a simpler form. Let's think about my multiples. The multiples of 4 are 2 and 4. The multiples of 32, and there are a lot of them, 2, 4, 8, and 16. There may be more, but the one that they share in common is 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. What I do to the numerator, I do to the denominator. 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 goes into 32 8 times. So it should be reduced down to 1/8. Which, that just sounds so silly and weird because 4/32 sounds like it's so much. But when you reduce it down, it's to 1/8. And let's check. 4/32 and 1/8. All right, one more. That's it. Okay, so I hope as we walk through this today that you really thought about adding and subtracting fractions with like or the same denominators. Remember, if it's a mixed number, you turn it into an improper fraction to do the operation. And then you turn it back into the mixed number if you can, and you must make sure that you reduce it down into simplest form. See y'all later.